Okay.
Hello, my name is Matt Lowen. I did my novel on Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. I chose this particular novel because we had to do a lot of Ernest Hemingway when I was in high school. And this is one of the books that we started but we never really got much involved in. So it's something I actually wanted to read. It's a classic novel, something that I've heard a lot about, and it seemed like it's a good book. When I read it, I was actually right. It is a good book. It based off of the time frame when Ernest Hemingway was having issues with his writing. He was not getting published very good. He wasn't getting any kind of novels coming in. It was actually good novels, getting credibility from the rest of the peers and the critics around him. And he was in a dry spell. He based his real life happenings off of what was going on in the book. In the book, you got Santiago. Santiago was an old fisherman who has gone over 80 days without any fish. He hasn't caught any major fish. He had any big catch to actually get on the market to sell for food. And he keeps believing in himself. He keeps his inner faith. He keeps constantly working towards making sure that he's going to be able to catch that big fish one day. And that's one thing that I based my thesis off of. I based my thesis statement off of one's inner strength, one's inner faith, keeping the fighting going, and then what happens whenever, after the fight, the sorrows that sometimes can come from it. During the book, Santiago is being told that he's never going to be a good fisherman. He's never going to be able to catch that big fish. He's considered unlucky by many of the people on the island. And there's only one person besides Santiago that believes in him, and that is the young boy that he has befriended. The young boy that he befriended was taught by Santiago, but due to his parents and the unluckiness that they believe that Santiago has in not catching fish, he is forced to work on another boat, which has better luck and catches more fish. But he still has faith, and the fact is the old man will be able to break his record and actually catch a big catch. What happens is Santiago actually goes out to sea. While he's out to sea, he actually hooks a marlin. It ends up being a 10-foot, 12-foot marlin he ends up catching. He has a 3-day fight with the marlin, constantly fighting it, working towards getting it pulled in. He finally catches a marlin, gets it in after the long, drug-out fight. Never gives up faith in himself. He never gives up faith in the fight. He knows that he's going to catch the fish. He wishes the boy was there, but he doesn't know he's going to catch the fish, so he never loses faith in it. Kind of like what Ernest Hemingway did in real life whenever he was a great novelist before. He had great published books beforehand. And then when it came down to this book, he was unable to, and unsuccessful to have one. This book was his reunitement. This was his fighting on. This was his inner faith. This is what pushed him back on the map. This book helped him to become a Nobel Prize winner and a Public Prize winner as well. One of the things that happens in the book as well is after he has the fight, he never gives up faith. He continues on fighting. When he gets done with the fight, on his way back to Cuba, which was about a 2-day trip, he ends up having mako sharks attack his catch. And unfortunately, he tries his best to fight off the sharks. He defends it as much as he can. He gets within a day's journey of this island, and the sharks take his catch. Whenever he ends up getting back to shore, he ends up coming up on shore with nothing but the marlin skeleton attached to the side of his boat. But yet the entire time, he never gives up faith. He still believes in it. He's talking as in the marlin's still there, that he had the greatest catch, that he is a good fisherman, all whole way back to his hut. And everybody realizes finally, when they see the size of the skeleton, they measure it out, that it is a recording one. It is one that they should have believed, and the fact is he was going to be a good fisherman. That's one thing I like about the book, and why I based my thesis off of it, is Santiago and Ernest Hemingway never gave up the faith that they had in themselves. They kept on fighting, kept on pushing towards it. They actually became a great person out of it. Santiago was able to get the great catch and became famous for it. Ernest Hemingway actually won 2 prizes because of this novel right here, and it's one reason why I chose this book. Thank you. About 4 minutes.